Welcome back to another episode of 40 Facts About the 40K Universe. I am your host, Gersh1, and you are watching One Mind Syndicate. Today we continue talking about the Necrons as we get into the Canoptek Spyder. This was a viewer request. If you guys have any more requests, comment down below. And of course, if you're new to the channel, subscribe. We post Warhammer 40K content every single day. But with that said, let's get into 40 facts on the Canoptek Spyder. Canoptek spiders are the massive robotic Necron constructs that resemble a cross between a Terran scarab beetle and a Terran arachnid. Their bodies are large and round, with the abdomen making up the majority of the structure. This is due to the large amount of space needed in order to accommodate the internal systems crucial to the operation of the machine. This is combined with their multiple limbs that allow the construct to perform various tasks simultaneously. The Canoptek Spyder is also fixed with many compound visual sensors, which perform routine scans and can upload various readings of all sorts. All Canoptek Spyders have a fabricator claw array that is primarily used by the Necron construct to execute repairs on a Necron's tomb system, but can be effective at performing repairs upon nearby Necron vehicles by fixing engine drives and weapons that have been disabled during battle, although they can perform greater tasks if given sufficient time. However, the claw array also makes for a powerful close combat weapon. Canoptek Spyders also sometimes sport additional weaponry to better repel crypt intruders. These include weapons like the twin-linked particle beamer that emits streams of minuscule antimatter particles that detonate on contact with matter. They are incredibly reliable, needing only enough energy to maintain the contingent field that prevents their antimatter from detonating within the weapon's mechanisms. Particle beamers are capable of causing highly dangerous blasts among their targets, and are capable of wounding all but the hardiest of infantry. When the Necrons rise from their crypts, Canoptek Spyders often follow them into battle, both for their combat abilities and their capability for repairing damage that is beyond even the faculties of their Necron masters' advanced regenerative systems. Unlike their Necron masters, Canoptek Spyders never sleep, but stay active for the purpose of servicing the structures of the tomb world, guarding their slumbering superiors, and maintaining the complex stasis machines that house them. When a tomb world falls before it is awakened, it is often due to some malfunction within a Canoptek Spyder or damage done to the spider. Even in their prime, tomb world systems require constant looped maintenance cycles, lest they degrade beyond repair, and the withering centuries have only hastened their natural decay. It is a task both endless in scope and thankless in nature, but Canoptek Spyders are programmed to work patiently for all eternity. Though Canoptek Spyders are essentially just automated robotic drones, a Canoptek Spyder is still a formidable foe when the situation demands it. Canoptek Spyders move about by anti-gravitic propulsions, albeit more ponderously than the agile skimmer bodies of the Necron destroyers. Their vast array of self-repair and backup systems, vital for enduring the uncaring millennia, offer substantial protection against a foe's weaponry. If the need arises, a Canoptek Spyder is capable of initiating a gloom prism that can generate energy fields which create zones that are shrouded and shielded from warp spawn powers, such as that of a Psyker. Any intruder foolish enough to stray within reach of a Canoptek Spyder will face a formidable defender capable of eliminating the threat with no hesitation. Reports recovered from some of the first encounters of a Canoptek Spyder note that the explorators came across multiple flayed carcasses thought to be animals that wandered into the tomb world. The individuals who collected these records also sadly found the original writers of these reports, their bodies desecrated, their flesh scorn from their bones by an array of mechanical tools and pincers. As if this wasn't enough, each Canoptek Spyder will have a further selection of weaponry at its command, depending on its specific function. Canoptek Spyders, whose primary duties are oversight rather than direct action, will craft slaved hosts of Canoptek Scarabs and Nanoscarabs within their abdomens, which are unleashed to effect repairs on nearby Necrons, or consume enemies, weapons, and armor. If intruders encounter this variant of Canoptek Spyder, it is more likely that the construct will order the destruction of the threat by sending swarms of scarabs that resemble metal insects, somewhat larger than an armored space marine's fist. What makes them deadly is the multiple clawed appendages and particle slicers. They will slice and burrow into the skin of the intruder, passing through the armor if needed, to cause havoc inside the individual's body. The enemy will be attacked from the inside out, as the scarabs carve their way out of the body, pureeing organs and bones. In this manner, Canoptek spiders act as mobile Canoptek scarab hives and can expand energy to create a Canoptek scarab swarm. However, when doing so, there is a chance that the spider will drain excess energy in the production of the swarm and take some form of damage to its internal systems. Produced scarabs will usually be sent to effect repairs under the direction of the spider master, or to repel enemies that threaten their Necron masters. Others employ particle beam dissectors in place of claws, and act as sentinels for the slumbering tomb. These spiders will eliminate the threat from range, although not as common due to the threat of destroying the surrounding tomb world. Whatever the armament, all Canoptek spiders are programmed to never fall back, and will always fight to protect their masters, even in the face of their own destruction. Once a tomb world has awoken, Canoptek spiders may accompany their masters on raids and campaigns of conquest. Not only are they deadly combatants, but the Fabricator array makes the already resilient Necrons all but indestructible. While Canoptek spiders are not sentient by any strict definition, their complex and layered subroutines are incredibly resilient and can adapt to most situations. If a triad of Canoptek spiders are operating in concert, one takes overall command, harnessing the processing capabilities of others to create a gestal supermind far greater than the sum of its parts. This hyper-efficiency is passed on to all Canoptek wraiths and Canoptek scarabs in the immediate vicinity, allowing the Canoptek spider to coordinate an extremely well-coordinated and precise response to any threat, be it a failed stasis matrix or an enemy intrusion. So it is that any intruder to a tomb world is often slain before catching so much as a glimpse of a Necron, having already been overwhelmed by swarms of Canoptek scarabs and Canoptek wraiths, silently directed by a looming Canoptek spider, thus ensuring the safety of their slumbering masters. The appearance of a Canoptek spider is thought to be designed for the purpose of striking as much fear as possible to an intruder. Necrons understood that most sentient life in the galaxy has an inherent fear of arachnid creatures. The AdMech viewed the look of the spiders as a defense mechanism, but further research points to the possibility that the design of the construct comes from ancient Necron-tier pets. The Necron-tier culture adopted the appearance of this ancient animal native to their homeworld, and one that seemed to always be found around their massive tomb constructs. This, coupled with their affinity with death, brought them close to these creatures. The hypothesis is that they were kept as pets and were carried over even after the biotransfer, much like humans maintain cybermastiffs, which are designed on the Terran dogs. And those were 40 facts on the Canoptek spider. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. The best part about the lore of the Canoptek spider has to be how grim dark it gets really quick. So you have this robot who's basically a maintenance drone, nothing too special, and then GW goes ahead and says, oh, by the way, it has slicers for hands, and it likes to flay the intruders. So it goes from a simple robot to a robot that skins you alive and then just probably props you up so that other intruders don't come into the tomb world. It's grimdark. The other cool thing is that they form a hive mind. So it's like a mechanical version of the Tyranids. If 3 or more get together, along with the Wraiths, they form their own like super mechanical Tyranid hive mind thing. It's going to be really cool to create a fan fiction out of this. I'm probably going to create a creepypasta and post it on Patreon of like a dark mechanicus or maybe even a tech priest that goes a little wild, collects a Canoptek spider, and then creates a robotic hive mind to combat the Tyranids. And then, of course, it goes crazy and it starts killing everybody on the planet before the Tyranids even arrive, or something like that. I'm going to think about that and post it on Patreon, which is a segue to introduce Patreon. The reason that we can post videos so often is because of Patreon. If you want to support us on Patreon, it's a simple $1 a month. It helps us create more videos, and you get some extra stuff every now and then. Jump on over there, link down in the description. If you can't, don't worry, it's just simply by liking, commenting, and sharing, it helps out the channel. Liking these videos really helps out, and sharing really helps out. But yeah, if you guys have any more suggestions, comment down below, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. This was Gersh1 with One Mind Syndicate signing out.
refuse to put my freedom first in any situation.